Okay, in a big saucepan, I am melting some stick of butter, and I'm going to add to my melting stick of butter a half a cup of flour. This is to help make my bechamel sauce, and I'm going to melt this together. I'm going to keep on stirring it. I don't want lumps. Okay, while that is working, and my wok, which I like to use for big leafy, I am sauteing Swiss chard, garlic, onion, and sausage. This is going to be the base of my meat and vegetable and my bechamel lasagna. And this is almost done. I'm going to cook it with the lid off so some of the water comes out, because I don't want this water, all this liquid, in my lasagna. So I'm going to let this cook down a little bit. You see I have my sausage. I took the stem of the red Swiss chard and I chopped it up like celery, because I want to use all the pieces of the Swiss chard, even the thicker pieces, and I started those with the onion and the garlic and the sausage. So they got nice and soft before I put the more tender leafy Swiss chard. So I'm going to lower this and I'm going to let some of this water evaporate out of the wok. In the meantime, I'm still melting butter and flour. Once this is melted, I'm going to add a quart of skim milk, and that's going to make a nice creamy sauce, which I'm going to salt and pepper. I'm going to add some nutmeg to it and some grated padano grana. Alright, my butter and my flour are all nice and incorporated. I want to cook the flour a little bit so we don't have a strong flour taste. I have a quart of skimmed milk. I'm going to slowly whisk in to my mixture here. And it's going to get really thick pretty fast. And I let my milk sit out a little bit so I'm not putting, really cold milk in here. And I'm just going to whisk it in and keep on whisking it in. And this is the basis for my bechamel. Once I get it all incorporated, I'm going to add more ingredients to flavor it up. And this is going to be a white sauce. It's going to be a lightweight Swiss chard and sausage lasagna with homemade noodles. So I got this all in. It's nice and smooth. And we're going to let it continue to cook because it's going to thicken up really nice. While this is cooking, I have some nutmeg, looks like that, and I grate it in. It's going to be a very, very subtle flavor. I always put nutmeg when I make lasagna or raviolis, and like I said, it's extremely subtle, and no one really knows what that flavor is. Still cooking. I'm also going to salt and pepper it. For this, because it's a white sauce, I'm going to add white pepper and a little bit of salt. And I'm going to cook this for a little bit until it thickens up. Okay, my bechamel sauce is starting to thicken up. I'm going to eyeball this about a cup of grated padano grana. And a little more. Everyone loves cheese. And I'm going to save the rest for the top. I'm going to let the cheese melt in here. Once everything's all incorporated, I'm going to start layering my lasagna. Okay, I decided to make my lasagna look a little interesting, so I'm going to use a brown stainless steel pan that I'm going to spray with olive oil spray. You can swirl olive oil around, it's not a big deal. Okay, my first layer is going to be pasta, and I'm not going to worry about it perfectly fitting. I'm just going to fit it in the bottom. You're going to try to pick sheets approximately about the same size, because what's going to happen is what's left over, I'm going to fold over the lasagna when I'm done. So I got my first layer. What I'm going to do is I'm going to take this mixture, which is my sausage and my Swiss chard, and I'm going to put it in the bottom. I'm going to make a nice layer of this. Now, obviously, I did not cook my pasta, and the reason why I didn't cook it is because it's homemade. So it's nice and soft, so I don't really need to worry about cooking it too much. I'm just even out my sausage here. I'm going to take my bechamel sauce, and I'm going to put a scoop of bechamel over that. Look how nice and creamy that is. And I'm going to do a second layer exactly the same. Okay, I did my second layer. What I did is I put my next sheets the opposite way. So I went this way and then I went this way. And I'm going to add, I did my Swiss chard and sausage mixture. And I'm going to add some more bechamel sauce to that. And this is just a perfect amount of sauce to pasta to stuffing. Okay, I did my second layer, and the reason why I overlapped everything is so I can fold the edges back into the lasagna. So there's my top layer. And here's my top layer. Okay. Then on top of this, I'm going to add the last bit of the bechamel, and I'm going to put some more cheese on it and some fresh basil, and I'm going to bake it in a 350 oven for about 40 minutes or until it starts getting golden brown on top and starts bubbling. Alright, I did my layers. I put the rest of the bechamel on top. Put like a quarter cup of the grated banana grana on it. And then I just put some chiffonade, which is just slicing the basil on top of it. I'm going to bake it for 40 minutes or until it gets bubbly around the edges and golden. Alright, so we are all nice and golden brown. The edges are bubbling. We're going to let this sit for about 10 minutes and we're going to cut into it. I don't want to cut into it now because everything would ooze out. So I'm going to let it sit and then we're going to cut into it. We're going to serve it. And I'm going to serve it with just a nice salad because this is an extremely rich dish because of all the butter and the sausage. So this is a nice comfort meal after a lovely evening out with my Rosa Park friends. So I have to say kudos to a nice evening. And now I need a nice comfort meal.